It is cold, it is winter, so this is Cyclocross. Welcome you all, this is Danny in the outdoor studio today. Actually, I'm on the race. I already did my Cyclocross race today, and the elite, the professional riders are just warming up for the Cyclocross Polish Cup 2017. So very interesting track right here, but I decided to make you a short info on why the road specific parts do fail on the cyclocross bike, and I don't understand that, because now we have so many different things. There is now bicycles for everything. You've got 27.5, you've got the plus size wheels, you've got 29ers with smaller travel, 27.5 with bigger travel, and so on and so on. So it's difficult to actually to actually choose the right bike. But in cyclocross you don't have that many options. I mean, there were some cyclocross specific parts like the cantilever brakes. Now we have disc brakes, which is really improvement, but there are still many parts on the bike which are only made for road bikes, and you use same on the road bike and on the cyclocross bike, and they do really fail. Let me show you how. So number one. All right, they are warming up. Number one is the cyclocross, the road bike specific shifters on the cyclocross bike. I don't get it really. Why is it so? These, for example, are Shimano 105s. There won't be much difference between 105, Ultegra, and even Dura Ace. This shifter is so tiny small that changing the gears during the race on the super bumpy on the super bumpy terrain is really difficult. Sometimes it's just a lottery. I will either change the gear or not. So this fails. Another thing is also that this is a winter cycling race, right? So the type of the cycling. So we are often using a winter glove. I'm not racing in these for sure, but when you are training, when you are warming up, you want to use these. On this little thing, very difficult. That's where the SRAM double tap shifters shine, because these are much larger, almost like twice the size of these. And also, if you want to change the gear and you slightly touch the braking lever here, it won't change the gear at all, right? So you need to touch the only one here. Now it changes the gear. Now it fails to change the gear. So this is it. The other thing is the road specific handlebars, but you know, cyclocross is very specific type of cycling. This is the tradition, so I'm not gonna be you know, talking about that and discussing with the tradition. But road specific handlebars, the drop bars, are not the best ones for braking. If you're riding on the drops, on the hoods, sorry, the braking power, even though you've got some really good disc brakes, isn't very good. This is the main thing that really fails on the cyclocross bike. Let's go to the drivetrain. You see, we've got so many group sets. We've got too many group sets even from Shimano for the road bikes, but you don't have any group set for the cyclocross bike, which is so weird. This 105 rear derailleur is just standard road bike derailleur, and it's not gonna be super stable when you are riding in the bumpy terrain. Cyclocross riding can be really tough, so why don't we have something cyclocross specific? The real upgrade for the bike would be the Ultegra or Dura Ace, because they are now with much stronger springs, so much more stable. I mean, this is okay, it works, but this is not cyclocross specific. And in cyclocross you are riding on the bumpy terrain, as I said, and also on a lot of mud. Let's just look at this. It can be really muddy. Another thing here is the cassette. This is just the road specific cassette. When it gets dirty in the mud, it will fail. That's one of the reasons why cyclocross racers will exchange the bike many times, multiple times during one race, because those bikes will be washed for them, so that the cassette, the chain will work. So cyclocross is a lot of fun, but having some better clearance for the mud on the cassette, like on some SRAM cassettes as well, having some cyclocross specific shifters would be much better. I myself would rather use a mountain bike even, but still cyclocross is fun, so I'm using cyclocross bike, I'm racing cyclocross, it's fun. So the shifters, the derailleurs, the cassette should be cyclocross specific. Now the tires, that's interesting. You would not believe how much grip this tiny, compared to MTB tire, it will give you. So it gives a lot of grip. It is also good for the muddy terrain, for the sand, something really deep, which we are riding quite often on the cyclocross races. But then on the bumpy tracks, it will not give you too much compliance, because you need higher pressure than on the mountain bike, wider tires, and the compliance, and then also the traction would be better. So it's a trade. It's a trade here. I'm not sure which one would I choose. I think for the track like today, you could see that on my full race from here, which was super bumpy and it was all frozen. I would rather use a mountain bike, because mountain bike would be much more compliant and just faster. So this is what I feel when I'm racing, when I'm riding, training cyclocross. Look at those professional riders on the World Cups also. When they're going down through some really steep terrain, they won't go on the hoods because of not having enough power, so braking power. They will ride on the drops so that they will be able to reach the brakes like this. But then riding on the drops means having even deeper, more stretched position on the super steep descents, which doesn't really make any sense in my opinion. Let me know, what do you think, guys? I invite you all to join our Facebook group, guys, and our forum, so that you can ask even more questions and I'll be answering those every day. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.